Bag of Trash here. Gonna be doing a review, Wonder of Wonders. I just bought this guy. It's going too long if you see this. The new IDW Bumble Bee. And in all honesty, I was not planning on buying this until I found out that every figure comes with their spotlight issue. So my inner chump decided to go ahead and buy this guy, just because I was kind of curious about how in the world Bumblebee is going to become, spoilers, how Bumblebee could possibly function in a leadership role, since he's pretty much just a spy. It turns out pretty much everybody agrees with me, until I finished reading the issue, and it's right here. Nice little comic book. Really, I've now got the entire wave of the first wave of the deluxes of this line, and they're all by and large pretty good. Even the repaints aren't that bad. Like I've got, I haven't taken Thundercracker out of package yet, but he looks good. I have read his comic, but anyway. Yeah, Bumblebee's here, and there's not a whole lot to say about him. I mean, it's another muscle car looking Bumblebee, which is the biggest reason I was going to pass on him, because I just didn't think I'd like him. A lot of the, let me see if I can, a lot of him looks just dull, just complete. The yellow is light enough that all of the little detailing that he has, and I will admit there's not a lot of it, just looks unfinished, more or less. Kind of like if you've ever seen some of the knockoff Transformers at Big Lots or wherever, where it's like this kind of, it's, he doesn't look good. There, that's as good as I can get it. Now, with a little bit of detail, a little bit of paint, it would improve tremendously. And I'll probably never actually do that, because I always say I'm going to paint stuff, but I don't. He's got these little things right here that are, it doesn't make a convincing gun at all. But you can take and combine them, and it makes this, which I guess could conceivably look like some big plasma cannon or something going off, but really I'm not sold on this weapon at all. I started off to make a positive review on this, and I'm sure not doing it. In all honesty, this is the weakest of the entire line I've bought up until this point, as far as the IDW base characters go. And I still kind of like it, which, for a yellow muscle car Bumblebee, it's pretty impressive, because I'm pretty well sick of them. And a lot of the reason I like this guy, he's got a very good transformation that I like. I mean, he's different enough from the standard Bumblebee we've been getting that I kind of like it. I like on for his knees, they didn't hinge the kneecap off of the body like you expect them to. So whenever you move the knee, you can bring this and still keep the knee covered up. He's got no exposed knee joints. He's got a ball jointed ankle, but the ball joint isn't in the ankle. It's up above it. So it does make for some strange posing, but not horrible. One thing I don't understand is they made his toes look like brake lights, but they're not. They don't even look like the taillights of the vehicle, which are on his knees anyway. Posability, you've got a cut joint right here, and oh, that's what I want to talk about. This right here, this yellow paint here, and this yellow paint here, looks somewhere between bad and atrocious. It's a yellow paint over black plastic, and it just does not cover well. And the closer I get it, the closer y'all can see just how much of the black shows through. It's seriously, they should have just left the forearms black. It would have looked better. He does have a pretty decent light pipe, but with the bright silver paint right below the light pipe, it's not that effective. Because, I mean, it does light up pretty good. I'm full talking out both sides of my mouth for this review. I'm sorry. I'm kind of distraught because I had to go buy new glasses this week. Actually, today. And I really didn't want to spend the money after spending the money on these guys. But, at any rate, they are neat little pieces of plastic crack. I was talking about articulation. I got one on this wild tangent. He does have a waist joint, but because of all this on his back, it's not that useful. I mean, this right here, if y'all can see just how far he's bent, that is as far as you can rotate it without, well, I lie. You can turn it all the way 90 degrees. This right here just kind of comes unpegged the more you fiddle with it. But it can kind of stand off from his back if you so desire. Anyway, transformation. Since I'm sure y'all tired of me talking now. First thing I do, since I didn't read the instructions, which is normal, I just unpeg this from the back if I wouldn't have already unpegged it from playing with it. This kind of is going to fold up over his head like that. And then you kind of got to rock his chest piece forward just a hair and then pull his waist out. And that's going to hide his head like that. Once you get that done, next thing I like to do, you just take the arms, and you can't see that one, but take the arms, straighten them out, straighten up all the panels for the doors and fenders, and there's a little rectangular thing right here. It's going to peg into the inside of the fender right here. And that's it. That's all you got to do with the arms. In fact, I'm kind of surprised they didn't just give him the door panels for arms. But I guess he's got to have his butterfly wings. Bumblebee wings. No, because, yeah. They do look more like butterfly wings because bumblebee wings would be going down, not out. There. Anyway. Put it right here. And these right here are just going to take and flip up with the shoulder joints. And all that's going to just peg in together like that. And you can kind of see daylight through them, but it's not horrible. Because how often are you going to hold it up to the daylight to be able to see the fact that light shines through it? I'm guessing not often. And I will say this, as neat as the transformation is, it is a pain. Everything in it, now, it holds very well, which is odd for something that is as panely as this. Because usually anything that folds up this much, usually for me, doesn't stay together at all very well. But the feet are kind of neat. Let me just fold this out of the way. here's the foot. You're going to take and fold it back on the ball joint. No, wait, I'm sorry, I'm getting all confused. This is how it sits right here in robot mode. You're going to take and fold the tip of the foot down, and then they got a small little nub right there, and a little gap right here in the back of the foot, and that's just going to clip together like that. And also, the this yellow piece, his outside of the rear fender, actually slides in and out on the skeleton of the leg, which caused me fits the first time I tried to transform it, because like you see right here how everything is all lined up along that panel. Well, if you don't have it like that, you end up with the it's hard to show right here. Right here. See how the glass is not flush with that panel? If you have it like that, you can't get him into his car mode. So you've got to take and shove all of this back over. And it's one of those things where you got to hold your mouth right to get it to do it. But as long as it looks like this right here, you can get it into car mode. But you're going to take this, and what I like to do is bend him forward at the waist like this, to where he would be like in a seating pose, and do all the stuff you got to do to get his legs ready in this position. Because even though it's secure, it is a pain to get him into position. Like this right here, the part that holds inside the window, there's a peg right there. And the only way I've ever found to actually clip this together is to take and twist it together, kind of in a V, put it together, and then fold it down. And it's locked. It's there. It's good. Throw down. Once you get that, open up the doors. Take this little notch right here. Guide the feet around it. And there's a tab on the end of this that's going to peg into right in front of the rear window. Wow, that has never gone together that good for me. So I guess it pays to practice. Now, we can go ahead and, while this is folded down right here, just peg that together. And they've got right here some more pegs. They're going to go into these rectangles. And if you notice, there is a metric butt ton of pegs and holes and everything. But it's because of all these pegs and holes and clips and everything that this thing, whenever you get this together, this thing is solid. I mean, I'm shaking it as hard as I can. Oh, I managed to unpeg this on the back. But all of the roof panels, all the panels in the hood, everything except for these small things that, in all honesty, the reason it came loose is as I was shaking it, I was actually working it just like it has to come unpegged. So that's my fault for just holding it in the wrong area for this demonstration. And even though, like I said, it is a sportsy car looking thing, it is definitely not a Camaro. I mean, it's got this weird rising hood up in the front. It almost, the way that this right here has the V right here, and the way the fenders rise, it reminds me of the C3 Corvettes. But the way from right here to right here with the scoop windows, this section of it Makes me think of the what year was it? I think it was the 68 to 1970 Mustangs. That's what this reminds me of. This section right here reminds me the way that this kind of juts out further and the grill slopes back reminds me of the 2004 to 2000 and was it 9 Mustang? Just the way that swept back. The wing that doesn't remind me of anything but Hot Shot. That's not a good thing. So yeah, they definitely were able. Oh, and the hood scoop. It's definitely a Mopar style hood scoop to me. And then for whatever reason they have the a scoop on the roof, which the only reason I can think of that is to tie it into the previous universe Bumblebee. But all in all, this is definitely his better mode. I don't usually like Transformers for their alt modes, but this is a solid one. Then he got his little weapons. I really wish that rather than having these holes in the fenders in the back, for these things to sit on the side, which this is the way they display it. But with how it looks like flames, I think turn it back to have it like a rocket boost something. And on that note, what they really should have done is had it to where these clip together to make one big rocket, and then it would plug into the back. My thoughts, feel free to disagree with me, but that's just the way I feel. So anyway, that has been a 17-minute review, and I hope y'all can hear it, because they got the washing machine going next right there. They got a fan right there, and I've got a box and a pile of boots over the air conditioner vent in here, just so you don't have to listen to the whole time I'm speaking. Which you probably have had to listen to some nonsense. But anyway, y'all have a wonderful day, and take care.